Welcome again, everyone, to the Red Card Podcast. I am Rowie. This is Surya, and
What's
we are
up?
back to talk about match week 11 in the Premier League before an international break will take us away. Surya, well, how are you feeling, my friend?
Yo, I am on top of the world. Honestly, this Premier League just keeps getting better and better. Uh, all the top teams keep dropping points. Chelsea keep dropping points. Liverpool got shat on, and Arsenal on the cusp of the top four. On the cusp, they're right
Yeah,
there,
we're
bro.
going to talk about that. Arsenal with the bouncing back, from what looked to be, in some people's eyes, relegation form in those first three games of the season.
I love that. I love that relegation form, bro. Makes
Relegation
me laugh.
form. They are right on the cusp. Are they above Ole in the
Of
table?
course, 3 points clear of United.
Wow, they are 3 points clear of United. Okay, we will get to that. So, Surya, let's start with the game of the week. The first kickoff, Manchester Derby. Again, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, how is he going to survive this Manchester City 2, Manchester United nil at Old Trafford? And they really toyed with them. It was a drabbing.
It was sad, bro. It was real sad. I mean, what are you gonna say, right? It's the same thing over and over again. At some point, as much as I love crapping on United, like at some point, you can only do it so much, and you get bored. It's
Yeah.
at that point. It's at that point. They're so bad, it's no longer funny. It's more just sad and like a sad, slow death until the end of the season when Ole gets fired and all the team leaves.
Yeah, it's interesting because all of the pundits who are kind of, old friends of Ole are still, you know, they're not really critical in their own commentary, but they're also
Yeah.
still adamant that the structure in the club will keep him there.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I don't know. I
I
enjoy
mean,
shitting on United after that 5-0, slapping that we brought them when we went to Old Trafford. But this was also, I mean, it was the manner of the defeat. It wasn't just that with a proper striker, it could have been five
yeah,
or six.
easily. I actually think this man's City side probably played superior football to what Liverpool did a few weeks ago.
Mm,
Just because like they were, I think for more of the game in control of everything, right? I
mm,
mean, of course, like they love to keep the ball, and you're right. Like had they had like a proper striker or center forward,
mm.
probably again could have seen 4 or 5 nil easily. I just think like what I don't know if you saw the post match at all, but what Gary Neville had said, it was like a calm annihilation. Is
Exactly.
exactly what it was.
He said that it was like putting them slowly to sleep, whereas last,
Exactly.
Liverpool was just like battering them around, this was it was like a tranquilizer, like he said, but you know, it was a, it was over at halftime again. That's the saddest
Yeah.
part is that it's, obviously at 4-0, it's a different story, and you see
Yeah.
Ole coming out of the Liverpool match, that saying to the, reporter, yeah, at 4-0
Mhm.
it's over. Here,
Yeah.
it's basically the same thing. You can see that
No, it's
the,
over, yeah.
the team isn't coming back with some sort of energy, desire.
Yeah.
That they don't have a plan to attack the game. It's really just one of our friends in the group chat said, how hoof it forward to Ronaldo and inshallah.
Yeah, I mean, like it was. I think in this second half, like probably there was this one span maybe of 10, 15 minutes where they were United actually
Mm.
posed an attacking threat, but
It was Ronaldo
again,
who had the chance, right? Ronaldo tested
yeah,
the keeper
like any change is
on
like
on the
again
on the volley.
too little, too late. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Look, and like I agree. Like everyone's saying that the United structure sucks, and it does. I mean, I'm sure. Wow, man, that's some love right there. So I'm sure that Ole would want nothing more than to get rid of Fred. You know what I mean? But at some point, right? Like he has to he needs the board on board with him to just to move players on, and that hasn't happened. Even this is year what now? Year four, the beginning of year four, and it hasn't happened yet, right? Like he still has, like I wouldn't say now this is Ole's squad, right? Arteta, I would say this is Arteta's squad. right? Many
Right.
of the players Arteta brought in or are sort of established, right? This isn't Ole's squad. This is still the same, remnants of the squad lingering on from a long time
Yeah,
ago.
I would say Ole has spent enough, and at this point, the
Yeah,
jury is out that if he
not
can't
well.
motivate his team to give a better performance than that at his two biggest game of the season, he's supposed to be challenging for the title with this kind of squad.
Yeah,
Ronaldo, Varane, Pogba, world class names, World
yeah,
Cup winners in there. In any case, you brought up the love. I just wanted to bring forward Bernardo Silva. This was a picture from the Premier League.
yeah.
Fantastic performance all around. I mean, obviously we can talk about the finish, where
Yeah.
with Luke Shaw falling asleep. God knows what he's doing at the back post over there. Literally falling asleep. I mean, letting him ghost behind him. And you feel for David De Gea. I mean, we didn't even talk about David De Gea. I wish I had a picture of him here.
He
I'll
had a
maybe
strong
pull up some
game.
stats. He had a strong game. Yeah, maybe we'll see how many saves he made. But yeah, he kept it
He
from
kept
becoming
alive.
six.
Yeah,
Exactly. He
exactly.
kept it from becoming 6 or 7. And really, and here let's see if I can really find the shots here. 16 shots to 5, and you can see Silva up
Okay.
there. And if we can just maybe get the chalkboard up, yeah, here we go. Look at this, just
Yeah,
incredible,
honestly.
just like unbelievable. David De Gea
Exactly.
just coming up so big. And yeah, I mean, Bernardo Silva just about gets it through. You can see he's trying to get across, and both Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw really are the ones who need to get it. But you
Yeah,
feel for him because it squeezes through. It just about squeezes through in the one place where he doesn't have it covered, and it's over. And the match is finished. The wind is out of their sails.
yeah.
And what does Ole even have to say at second half after what they did? In any case,
And,
that's the Manchester derby. I mean,
actually, one
yeah,
thing I will say actually, just to end it off, would be that right. Like, sure, the board is the problem, but you know, like if you swapped in Antonio Conte in there, if you swapped in Thomas Tuchel in there, right? Like the team would be playing more solidly, right? Like they would
mm,
have more of a solid defense, more of a plan,
mm.
right? So like even though the board blows, like Ole is still not helping himself by being shit.
Yeah, I mean, this squad of players, I mean, a lot of the commentators were saying the same thing. This squad of players I mean, is good on paper. So any
Yeah,
competent manager who, it's similar kind of, situation Daniel Levy was in. It's obviously it's much better, I think, the squad on paper. But you get a good manager in there, and you can work with these parts. You don't.
yeah,
It's not an overhaul. And they spent the most money out of most of the teams in since Ole came in. They spent like what was it,
yeah,
over 200 million, something crazy obscene. So at this point, it's very clear that there is no plan. There is no,
yeah,
understanding, what they're all set out there to do. And one of the things I was noting actually, I'm not even looking at my notes here. First of all, poor Eric Bailly after performing so well with that own
oh
goal.
my
I
god, yeah,
totally forgot that was even the first goal. Completely embarrassing, and he was hooked at halftime if I remember correctly. Um, yeah, it was
yeah,
it was embarrassing. But United's back line, that's really what stuck out to me. Every play, every attack, you just saw how disorganized. They're
yeah,
all over the place. They don't know where they need to be.
yeah,
And it's interesting, when you compare some of the big signings in the back, and I think maybe Varane could be this as he matures, I
yeah,
guess. But like, let's just say Harry Maguire versus Virgil van Dijk as an example. 70, 80 million pound center backs.
hmm,
What they bought is not only skill, I guess, with these two, but what they bought in Liverpool bought with Van Dijk was a leader, an organizer of the
yeah.
back line. And Harry Maguire is not that. Nobody is yelling, nobody is screaming, get in
He's
line.
a sad sack.
I wish I. Oh, it's. I w- Definitely is, but I
He
wish
always
I.
looks sad and like,
He's yeah,
woe
he's
is me.
lethargic. He is lethargic.
Yeah,
He is lethargic. But it was very obvious that they were just being pulled around and nobody knew where they wanted to be, and that's why they changed the system at halftime. They could not
yeah,
cope with that three at the back. I mean, it was already they saw the blueprint of how they worked against the three at the back against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Ole walking into the trap, and even I don't love Michael Owen as a pundit, but he was saying it too. Like it doesn't seem like they have an identity. They're just kind of reacting to the next fixture,
Yep.
right? They're and I guess
Keep changing.
yeah, he said also like when you have a style of play, you need to sometimes play through the pain barrier, right? Stick with your style of play even though you're
Yep.
getting hammered, just so that you can learn your style of play.
Arsenal had that too. I mean, Arsenal did exactly that all of last season,
Yeah,
and the first half sucked, and then
yeah,
you know something in this second half clicked, and then everything sort of came back around. And look, like everyone has sort of times in their career like where it's off, right? I think Harry Maguire is only on like sort of a short term kind of thing, right? He has some like issue needs to resolve, and I think honestly, like if he was not the captain, I think he would be well served to be on the bench maybe a game or two just to clear his head and get back into the game.
yeah, absolutely. And I think they all could just use some more, better instruction from a better manager. But the
Well, of
last thing
course,
on this, yeah,
barring that
yeah. But the
personal
last,
forms.
yeah. But the last thing on this, I guess we can just say a few stats that kind of blew my mind. One shot on target, first of all, for United. I
Yeah,
think all game that one Ronaldo chance, and I think they kept saying it the lowest amount of touches United have had in a game in the opposition half since they started recording stats. 4 touches. So you can just see that even with Ronaldo and Sancho and all these, attacking talents, quite embarrassing. But let's shift over to your boys, Arsenal. I actually watched this game. That's why I didn't catch most of the dull 0-0 draw at Goodison Park because I was watching your
useless.
boys. Tell me how you feel. Arsenal were a dominant force against Watford.
I think just look at the agenda on WhoScored.com. Look at this trash, right? If you go to the Premier League player stats, the top 10 players on rating, no, not one Arsenal player in there. Three Chelsea players after they draw to a shit Burnley. Come on, bro. Like, what the fuck are you? What are they smoking, man?
What do you
I
think should be
mean,
on there from Arsenal squad? Who should have made it?
Ben White or Emil Smith Rowe. One of them. Look, Alan Shearer
Mm,
is team of the week every week. This week, the week prior, the
mm.
week before that, had one Arsenal player on it every week. This has 3 Chelsea players after they draw against
I
Burnley.
mean, did you watch that match? They were pretty dominant force, the whole
Who,
match.
Chelsea?
The whole match, yeah.
Well, it's 1-1. I don't. Okay, okay, fine. If they're the dominant force, why is their defender number 7 on here? If they control the match, he should be invisible. He should be like sitting back, chilling, having some Bacardi.
I guess you might be right. I mean, look, there were some good performers on the pitch. Would I agree that maybe a few Arsenal players probably should have made it, given the
At least
result and
one,
the performance? I mean, because look, they also were all over Watford in the first half. Let's be real.
bro. We were, man. You know what? The agenda. But anyway, okay, Arsenal, dude. I gotta say, Watford. The game was harder than I thought it would be. Like
Really?
they were much tougher on the ball than
Mm.
I thought it would be the case. I mean, like after seeing their game last week, I thought it would be a lot easier, but it was actually tough. And I think a main issue was like our actual our ability to finish chances because like those were like spurned quite often. Aubameyang definitely was off it in this game. Right? He wasn't
Mm.
on his like
Yeah.
his top form. Of course, he missed the penalty kick.
Yeah. Awful.
Throw was
Awful.
saved.
But it
I
was an
mean, come on,
awful kick. It was terrible. It was
it was
it
not
was
good.
right in the middle of the goal.
I
Awful.
actually think that Lacazette should be the one
Taking the pens, huh?
taking them. I think he's so much better
Mm.
at penalties. He knows how to read the keeper, how to fake the keeper, and he's
Mm.
like even if they die the right way, they're so hard to save.
Mm.
But yeah, besides that, I gotta say a few points on that Arsenal game. I thought first of all, Ainsley got his the bird catcher maintained tiles got a start today in midfield, and he got the Sky Sports Man of the Match. Man, he killed it. Like
Really?
unbelievable, you know what I mean? Again, like in this time where it was unsure whether he would stay or leave, and our head was like, you know what? You're in my plans. I'll play you where you want to play. And dude, it's happening. It's coming together. Look at that, brother. Bird catcher himself.
Ainsley
Um,
Maitland Bloodclot Niles.
I think one thing I saw in this game I didn't see last game was Tavares. Although I mean, he had an awesome game. He was up and down the pitch. He runs really fast. His attacking is great. I think sometimes his decision making is lacking. Like his crosses, often go completely, off the mark. He tries to over dribble, lose the ball. I really can't wait for Tierney to come back
Right.
and see how he does because I know his end product. I think at least is more consistent, if I recall correctly.
For sure.
compared to Tavares.
For sure. But I have been impressed with Chavash and how he's, you know, if I was an Arsenal fan, I would not be worried when Tierney is gone. I'd be comfortable, almost like I
Yeah.
feel about Tsimikas, to be honest, at Liverpool. But
Who's
yeah,
that? Tsimikas?
yeah, Tsimikas. He's a Greek left back.
He played this weekend?
No. But you know,
Oh,
he's the backup left back.
Yeah, the
Who,
backup.
if Robertson's out, then he goes in. So he's a solid pick. And Arsenal look very balanced. You know, Arsenal. I'm eating my words for the comments I made at the bar where we conceived this show, when I said Ole was better than
Bro,
Arteta.
there's a new like form to fill out every week on this Arsenal subreddit for everyone to apologize to one of the new signings. This week it was Ben White. There's an apology form saying why I'm apologizing to Ben White, what I said before, how I feel about him now, and I think that's awesome. I will say that I don't know if you saw the foul that led to the penalty kick, but Danny Rose again showing why he belongs.
He
I
is
get a team for
shocking,
Watford.
mate. He is
I
shocking,
remember
mate.
when he moved from Spurs to Watford, he had this all attitude like, "Oh, I'm not. I deserve more than Watford. I'm too good for Watford." I mean, clearly he's not good enough for Watford. Like that was hilarious. It's like he's not looking at the ball. He just literally like how do you do that to somebody? Like
Dude,
you have no
smashes
awareness.
him. Smashes
You've
him.
got
It was a clear pen. Clear.
you've got no awareness of anything around you, dude. Like come on, you're a professional player. Unbelievable. But yeah, and then at the end, I think it was hard to actually score because I think around the 86th minute, like we saw, that Ramsdale came out of the goal running, just completely missed, and that could have ruined the whole game had they converted that chance. So I think again, like it is a common issue. I think we need to address our ability to actually score more goals, but all in all, our defense has held up. I mean, we are now 3 points off of Man City, 2 points off of Liverpool, and 3 points clear of United. So,
There you go. Great form.
like I said at the start, like I'd be happy if Arsenal are top 6 again. I think Arsenal could challenge for top 4. But again, like we'll see. Yeah, I know. The only problem is I think West Ham now, after seeing them beat Liverpool, maybe not top 4, maybe number 5 for Arsenal, just
I
because West Ham are
think
too good.
you had a good graphic. Let's see if I can find it here. This funny one here.
Oh yes,
Yeah. This is the
exactly.
one. This is the one that says it all. Why they're not gonna make top four to me.
Wow.
Look, you're the one who included this in the show notes, my friend.
Hey, you know what? What matters is points, bro. Points are points are points. You guys won 5-0 against a shite United, so of course you have inflated goal differences. Please.
Bro, I'm sorry. Inflated goal differences. You take 5 away from this. Where are we? Where are we at?
We lost 5-0 to Man United. You add 5. Where are we at?
Come on. Oh, you lost 5-0 to Ole's Man United. What would it say
No,
about
sorry,
you?
sorry. I meant City. I meant City.
You
Man
Man
United.
City. In any case, I mean, you're right. Look,
Bro,
I think.
if you lost 5-0 to United, dude, oh my god.
Look, I think top
I'd be
6
out.
for. I think top 6 is viable. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Top 4.
I think number 5 is viable. Fuck top 6, bro.
Look, 5 is in the top 6. Not good enough for you?
I don't want 6, bro. I want 5. I want 5 or I want nothing.
In any case, I want to give a quick shout out to Lakonga and Saka. I think they both had bright games, and I
And
got to give
Emil
a
Smith Rowe scoring
and
again.
Emil Smith Rowe getting on the score sheet. He also
Adding that, he got the
yeah.
England call up today as well. He's now in the England squad to face San Marino on Sunday.
Congratulations to Emil Smith Rowe.
We got Ramsdale now in the squad. We got Smith Rowe and we got Saka in the squad.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean
Slowly, one day we'll also add Ben White.
Ben White. You think an Arsenal core in the England squad? You think for the
Bro,
for the Qatar World Cup?
that's the dream. And if Ainsley can like keep his game form up, bro, we'll have half the
Ainsley,
England's 11
made
almost.
in Blackrock Niles. Yeah, he's baller.
Bro, bird catcher, maintain tiles.
And a final shout out to the cycling GK out there, Ben Foster. Great saves and a great save from the penalty. Truly
Oh my
shocking
God, man, he
finish
had a
from
great
Alba.
game.
He had a
He
great game.
saved he saved so many good like opportunities from Arsenal, man.
So many good opportunities. And let's go also a
Yeah.
shout out to the shoulder sponsor, freaking Dogecoin. That was hilarious. What a joke of a fucking team. Oh man. But in any
I mean,
case, yeah.
in a way, I like that they don't give a shit, right? It's like
It's out of left field, I'll tell you that. And
Dogecoin's got cash, and then they got cash. Fuck
that's
it.
for sure. That's for sure.
We need cash, basically. If you're watching.
That's for sure. All right, my friend. Let's because I want to avoid talking about Liverpool losing. Let's talk about Chelsea real quick.
Wow.
Let's just talk about Chelsea. Look,
The
they
salt is so real, dude.
the
To everybody
salt
out
is
there.
real. We'll talk about it.
All
We'll
Liverpool- Okay, all right, go ahead.
we'll we'll
Chelsea,
un, we'll unpack it. We'll unpack it. But let's talk about Chelsea. Look, I was happy when Chelsea dropped points. I was ready to capitalize. I saw them, put pressure and not be able to. They were ruining the missed chances. You always
Yeah.
say that. The Burnley were resilient. They stayed in the game, and you always felt that if they could just keep it to halftime, keep it to 60 minutes, they have a
Yeah.
chance to nick one, and they did.
Honestly, dude, like this is one of the reasons, like, like everyone, of course, says this, but like one of the reasons this league is awesome because like a team like Burnley can hold Chelsea to a draw. Team like West Ham is now solidly challenging for top four, right?
Mm.
Fucking look at Brentford, how well they did earlier in the season. I mean, now they got a lot of losses under their belts, but still,
The
right?
pace
Like they
caught up
came
with them, yeah, of the league.
They came up and they're still not in a relegation fight just yet. Norwich beat them out of nowhere, right? It's just like again, yeah. I said it I think last week too. This is just such a competitive league now.
Such a competitive league, and yeah, I mean it's become. I mean the money's coming in, so you're seeing squads being bolstered,
Yeah.
and it's always been a place where the style of football is rough. It's tough. It's physical.
Yeah.
It's not this slow pace like in Spain, where it's
Yeah.
it's kind of
Oh,
lethargic.
shit.
Let's be honest. This is a tough
We're
league to
not
play in.
playing on a farm in France.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean Nick Pope was keeping Burnley in the match. I don't know if you saw fantastic performance,
Yeah.
save after save. It could have been 5 or 6 without him, and he really
Yeah.
was, I think, man of the match for Burnley. Have to say.
Mhm.
And I gotta say, I'll give us a quick shout out with our little graphic here. And I know we didn't even talk about Arsenal's nice stat, or give a shout out to Mr. Foster here. So we'll give Foster a nice shout out for his save there.
Man, I
Oh.
can't believe it. Oba first he misses the penalty, and
There it
then
is.
Odegaard's shot. He tries to hit it in. It was already going in, and it was offside because of him.
Yeah,
2 goals right there, Oba ruined. But oh
two
well.
goals, man, 2 goals.
It
And
happens. Win is a win is a win, and I'm happy.
yeah, absolutely. I saw another shot of him like tragically, like on the Premier League side of him, like looking up
He
after
knew,
that.
bro.
He knew.
He knew he knew he
He knew, bro.
he did Odegaard dirty, bro. He did him
He
dirty.
did him dirty, bro. Oh man. But yeah, I had to show this graphic if only to give Reece James a shout out. This man, first of all, fantastic assist for the goal.
Yeah.
But he is on fire, man. If there's one, I think he's my favorite non-Liverpool player in the league right now. He's really, I guess I have a soft spot for right backs who, are so good from
Yeah.
attacking positions. But my God, Reece James, what a performance! I had to give him a shout out there.
I mean, yeah, like for as good. I mean, like it says a lot that in the English squad, despite how good Trent Alexander-Arnold is, like Reece James starts above him in the order, right? Like, I mean,
I mean, he
that's
was injured in
yeah,
last time, but absolutely,
yeah.
it's a good problem for Southgate to have all the, you know, uh,
So many right backs.
variety exactly to choose from back there. But okay,
He's only got Luke Shaw on the left.
oh my God, Luke Shaw! I still won't get over how he just fell asleep at the back post there. Like, what is he doing? All over the place, that Man United back line.
Ole is asleep at the wheel.
Oh, Ole's asleep at the wheel, my friend. But Surya, I can't avoid it much longer. Let's talk about Liverpool and West Ham.
One of the most joyful games I've watched in a while.
Joyful games, yeah. Tell me,
Because
what do you think? Tell me what you think.
so I think more than anything, I really relished the salt of the Liverpool fans, the saltiness after the game ended. I relished that the most. But in the game itself, I thought, look, I mean, they are killing it on set pieces. I mean, wow, you know what I mean? Like they are
Mm,
just on top of it. So like every set piece looked like it was gonna lead to a goal. You know what I mean?
mm.
And they got two goals off of them. And again, I think one thing Liverpool lacked was just their midfield had no groove to it, no passing groove. Like they would lose the
None.
ball too easily. They were slow, and I'm happy to see that Oxlade-Chamberlain has not improved a lot after he left Arsenal. That's always a good sight.
Uh,
But
I don't share in your joy of not seeing the progression of Ox, but he is a glaring. I won't say gap in the midfield because he's there.
yeah,
He's
he's
still
I mean,
providing something, but he doesn't provide that quickness
yeah,
of pass,
he's a
and
good he's a good squad player maybe.
look, and this is an opportunity for him to step in as a squad player in this
Yeah,
game,
yeah,
and you could see it was just overrun, and
yeah,
you have to give
definitely.
credit also to West Ham. I mean, they were. I saw some of your notes. I didn't write it. I didn't write any because I was all salty and I had to just have my
Yeah,
time. But the compactness, I mean, that's something I really just like focused on in the first half, especially. Just like how the shape was almost perfect all the time. They kept their compact. They
so
cut
tight,
off
bro,
all
so tight.
so tight. Yeah, don't say what. Do
No,
not.
not at all. I'm
Definitely
just
do
saying
not. But very tight.
you're really tight defense.
Very tight defense. But in any case, it
Put up a good
really,
fight.
really put up a good fight, and obviously they put us on the back foot with getting that first goal. To be fair, I'm not sharing in the salt of that
No,
being a
man.
foul on Alisson. That was not a foul. That was just a poor decision, I think, from Alisson to come out
Yeah,
that way. Nobody's really helping him or talking him or really challenging. He should be, I don't think he was. It looked like he wasn't confident going up there, and he didn't
he
have a
really wasn't.
punch
I
on
mean,
it.
like, yeah,
Yeah. So in any
he didn't
case,
even he didn't really even leap that well. You know what I mean? He kind of like just a small hop and then that's it. And Ogbonna still got sort of over, like at the height of his hands. I mean, come on, like you can use your hands. How are your hands not above Ogbonna? But
yeah, and honestly, when you see the second two goals, you can see he was just off it the whole game. Like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
why I can absolutely attribute it to it being a mistake, is because I
yeah,
saw him in the rest of the game, and
yeah,
in the rest of the game he was very clearly a little bit
yeah.
off it, right? And so I guess second goal, you see obviously first of all here let's before we get to the second half, let's give Trent his due. It's so sad because he
Real good
scores
free
this
kick, man.
worldly free kick, and then it counts for nothing because we can't get the result in the end. But worldly free kick from Trent will, I wish I could be less salty so I could spend more time talking about it. But I mean, actually no, just the actual execution of the free kick itself. I don't know if you saw it, but like the roll out to
It was really
Salah, the
perfect. It was really
plant.
good.
I just
It was really
love
good.
that, like setting it up for him to like hit it perfectly in a place where he
It
wants to hit it.
looks so good. It's so pleasing to watch. Yeah.
And quickly, I have to say these jerseys are becoming a cult favorite. If we win any trophy this season, oh, it's going into the history books.
You like them a lot?
I mean,
I didn't like them that
they're
much.
better than the McDonald's trash that they put out there. Nike, awful,
Yeah.
dreadful jersey.
So one thing I will say, dude, Divock Origi, man comes on and makes a difference every time. I really think in
He
place of
does.
Diogo Jota, like I really think he should start when Firmino's out. Like he's got size at least to offer. You know what I mean? This is a tall defense, very tall, strong people. Like you need someone larger in there to work with. You
Yeah,
know?
you have a good point. I think that he is, it's a good snap finish. Give him
Yeah.
credit. I
I mean,
think,
there was great touch and great turn and finish. I mean, I thought it was incredible. I was
yeah.
so impressed.
I mean, he's an instinctive finisher. He's a goal scorer for sure. I mean, you could see it in the goals that he scored. In the run of the Champions League
Yeah.
during that season. But he's not consistent. He doesn't provide. The club system needs that energy, right? And
Yeah.
the and somebody who's going to lead the press.
Yeah.
And Big Div
Yeah,
really
that's
isn't
true.
that.
Yeah.
So that's why. And Jota, to be fair to him, even though he's super short, is amazing in the air.
He
E-
works
ev-
hard. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Even in this match, he had a one nice glancing header that was a pretty decent chance after a well worked play, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it was really at this point in the match, you're thinking, you're going to halftime. It's 1-1. We
Yeah.
got this. You have a chance. And in the first few minutes of the second half, we were all over them.
Yeah.
I was ready for a goal or two here. I think there was a good chance on the volley by Sadio Mane, like
Hmm.
another one touch, across the pitch. I think it was Trent, and then Robertson into Mane. So it was a
Hmm.
nice, just a quick, Fabianski makes a save. But then the non-existent midfield that you mentioned lets in. I mean, I was watching the replay right before we were prepping for this show.
He ran right through like
Bowen
easy.
Bowen just runs in a straight line, bro. I'm
Yeah.
just like, where it's like almost. I feel like I'm almost watching the backline of United. Where is everybody? Like what's going on? And I guess give credit to West Ham. They have three players. I mean, they first of all the game plan is perfect, set up to
Mhm.
perfection. Clinical counterattacks and the three bodies up front. I think was it Fornals, Antonio,
Yeah.
and in that case Bowen. So that
Yeah.
just providing that pace and putting and look, Liverpool were they're challenging for the title. So a draw is not good enough. So they're
Definitely not.
throwing everybody forward. And obviously already we know that the space in behind the left back and the right back is where you can exploit, especially behind Trent. So in any case, you see a good counterattack, a great pass from Bowen too, perfect timing, great
Yeah.
run, checked run before now. And again, a little bit. I think the keeper could do better there. You see him get a touch, kind of goes behind him a bit. You can see he had enough that he could maybe parried it away or maybe held it, but it goes in and at that point, the wind is really deflated. Not that the third goal at the back post. That's when it was really over. But at this point, you're feeling we're not getting 3 points here. It's the
Yeah.
London Stadium. It's rocking, and you're not going to really be in a position to capitalize on
Mhm.
Chelsea dropping points.
And I'm such a huge fan of Mikel Antonio. Like he
Oh,
is so good. He works so hard, man. He's got so much energy and never stops running. And he's like strong.
yeah,
He's got the
he's fantastic.
unreal. I think it's no exaggeration when I say Virgil van Dyke is past it. I think he should be. I think it's time to be sold in
Clip this up,
January.
everybody. Clip this up.
Sold in January. He's an old man. He needs to go back to eating his waffles and
Yeah,
french
I
fries.
mean, look, I will give you this for Antonio, and obviously, we'll talk, just for a second about Zuma's goal at the back post. Just even embarrassing. The set pieces were really where this game was won. But Antonio, he had a great run. I think it was 4 now also for
Yeah,
the chance in behind where Alisson actually got
yeah,
the
it was.
save.
Yeah,
You can see how not only strong Antonio is, but how he's clever. He's really, he's got Van Dijk on the back foot, and he's shifting
yeah,
his body weight. He's kind of like making him guess where he's gonna go. And that's actually what gets him to a position where he's so far. The center backs are so far back that he can, put in the through ball to whomever's there in support with him.
yeah.
Fantastic counterattack.
Their counterattack was incredible. Like I was seeing the match of the day, like them
Mm.
sort of replaying the attack, right? Like how they transition from defense to attack. I mean, the speed at which they're able to do it is unbelievable. Like it's, I mean, David Moyes, man, I have
David
to say,
Moyes, shout out.
this is probably the defining game of his West Ham career so far. I mean,
Yeah,
3-1 to Liverpool. Who would have thought, right?
absolutely. I mean, a Liverpool's team that are admittedly, a little bit weak in midfield and I would say somewhat knackered, but
Yeah.
absolutely. And not only that, but being where he was in the league table, knowing that
Mhm.
if he gets the victory, he leapfrogs them. If I'm pretty sure, if I'm sad to say, yeah. Let's show everybody.
Yeah, they're above Liverpool now.
They are above Liverpool. Look at this form. 4 wins on the trot, beating Everton, beating Spurs, beating Villa, and then, with justifiably this momentum coming in and rocking Liverpool to their socks. And Liverpool didn't have any momentum from this from the Brighton match. So
Yeah.
they were under pressure to a certain degree and didn't stand up to it unfortunately.
Okay, so let's see. They played Liverpool just now, right? Okay, so
We want to see their fixtures perhaps.
yeah, so they've so far drawn against Man City. They won against Liverpool. They actually lost to United. Oh no, that's in the yeah, they actually lost to United. Their next game is
They
against
did.
Wolves. Okay. When are they playing? Oh no, sorry. They drew Man City in the League Cup, right?
So let's see. Their next fixture will be Wolves
Yeah, League Cup.
at
Yeah.
Molyneux
Okay.
and then
Okay.
Man City.
So they have. Yeah, they still have to play Man City, like out of the top four in the league. And they haven't played. Oh yeah, and then Chelsea they still have to play. So I guess
In December. Yeah.
we'll see then how that goes, and then Arsenal. So their next games in the EPL are
Right.
like rapidly increasing in difficulty, right? They have Man City, then Brighton, then Chelsea, then Burnley, and then Arsenal again.
But frankly, they've proved they can stand up to it.
Yeah, they have to be honest.
So I'm really curious to see how they hold up and how they can. I mean, look, it's a results business. They don't need to be winning 4-5-0. They
Yeah,
and a top four finish would be incredible here. Actually, where am I at here to get
the top
the
four would be
tables?
unreal. Yeah,
I mean,
I
they
mean,
are in third spot right as we speak, and
just the
we are
amount of
at the
like,
match week 11. But yeah,
just the amount of revenue they'd earn from Champions League football alone. They could so improve their squad, like in the summer, it would be unreal.
mm, yeah,
Exciting for them, dude. Exciting if you're a fan of a West Ham fan.
absolutely. A lot of West Ham fans out there in the YouTube sphere that I'm excited to hear from in the coming weeks, particularly
A lot of hammers
Russell.
out there.
A lot of
I'm
hammers
sure
out there. Football
they
is
get
nice.
hammered.
Should be fun. Oh man. All right. Well, enough of talking about Liverpool. Let's get. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. Let's get to Conte and his friends at Spurs. So again, like I mentioned, didn't watch too much of this game because I was watching your boys Arsenal. It was at the same
Yeah.
time. But Conte is at Spurs now. He has something to work with. Starts with a difficult game at Goodison Park against
Mhm.
what should be a resilient defensive Rafa
Yeah.
Benitez side. And from what I did see of it, it was a bit end to end, and Spurs were maybe not as drab as they've been,
Yeah.
but they had some fight in them. Reguilon I think was on the pitch, had a couple of good moments. But yeah, what do you think of Conte? Did you even watch this match? And
So,
yeah,
like after the game, I asked myself, right, like if Nuno was still in charge, how would the game have turned out? And I actually think, right, so I mean, of course, like, Spurs haven't scored, had scored zero, right? It's a
mm,
0-0 draw. And of course, I think Conte's job one will be just to ensure they aren't losing games, right? They aren't
mm,
conceding goals. And, of course, they succeeded. But I thought,
yeah,
I actually think probably if Nuno was in this game, the game probably would have ended up also as 0-0. So I think, I mean, this is only his first sort of full match week in
yeah,
charge. So he needs time to sort of adapt and
for
see
sure.
who the 11 are he can trust every week.
Absolutely. And I think, look, he definitely knows he's got some pieces there
Yeah,
that he wanted to work with before. So I think he's confident that he can get an 11 there. I think
yeah,
we spoke about that last week, where we were kind of, as we saw that he was kind of getting
mm-hmm.
the breaking news that he was going to get the job.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, look, I think he's got a shot. I think Spurs are going to be a force to be reckoned with. That
Yeah.
might challenge, this top four aspiration you have for Arsenal. Uh,
Well, I don't know
not that
about
not
that.
that they'll get to the top four, but I'm saying like they will be somebody who will take points off of people, and will be in that top six fight. I think by the end of the season,
Yeah, probably. You're probably right. Yeah.
Conte will bring them up to speed. I mean, we have to this was. First of all, it was called El Sacco for a reason, so I'm glad somebody grabbed the sack and Nuno left.
Yeah.
But you can see this was a decisive play, right? Like, wasn't it Conte who came in? Was it Conte who came in for Chelsea? No, Tuchel obviously was the most recent who came in
Mm-hmm.
and then won the. But or was it actually Mourinho's original hiring? But in any case, Chelsea has a track record of sacking managers mid-season when they know
Yeah.
it's going bad, and look, they're in a position where they can't afford to not get something out of this. At least Harry Kane and Son and this pieces of the Pochettino era that still have what it takes, at least from the skills perspective to play at a high level, right? While they're still, Harry Kane's 29 so he's still got a
Yeah.
couple years left in him. And this squad has a couple seasons maybe left in its cohesion, in the parts that are still there. So yeah, Conte I think will do a good job, and as you're saying, it's the beginning of the journey, and we'll have to. And I'll be curious to see their fixtures to see kind of like
And
what they'll
again,
run in
I'm
these.
just glad again to see more good managers in the league.
Mm,
Like it's weird. Like I'm not from England. Like I in no way embody the
mm,
English culture that makes the league or the style of play what it is. But
mm.
I still, for some odd reason, like feel pride in how good the league is. Maybe it's I'm an Arsenal fan, but even then, like even when Arsenal were losing, I still thought, damn, this is a great league.
Yeah, I mean, and look, I think I feel the same way, and it particularly helps that we got the monkey off the back of getting the, you know, prem, the first prem in 30 years off the shoulders, so you don't have to feel that pressure every season to like, oh, it's
Sure.
if not this season, then whenever.
Yeah.
But my God, you're right. I mean, let's look at the managers we've got. We've got Pep, we've got Klopp, we've got Conte, we've got
Tuchel.
Tuchel, and then you're gonna argue now Arteta, who's okay,
David
I
Moyes.
think.
No. David
David
Moyes.
Moyes, who's still
Um,
okay. He's not the top class, but
I mean,
absolutely
yeah,
very
I think
good
he's a top
manager.
manager.
But even just that crew of managers
Yeah.
is top class.
Now
Graham
we've
Potter
got
is emerging as a great manager.
we got this, then we got Arteta, then we got Eddie Howe is now at Newcastle. He came back. I remember
Did that
when,
actually
when
confirm? I thought that was kind of in the
yeah,
balance.
I think they confirmed. I mean, when he was at
Mm.
Bournemouth and they were in the Premier League, there was one season where they did. Yeah, so like if you see on our soccer, they said they confirmed it. But yeah,
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'll pull that up.
contract until when? Summer 2024. Yes, he's got a long contract.
Oh wow. Okay, interesting. I wonder. Yeah, I saw in the kickoff they were speculating that they weren't going to let him get his backroom staff, but perhaps they
Juventus
reached an agreement.
are working to terminate Aaron Ramsey's contract. I feel so bad for Ramsey. He never wanted to leave Arsenal, and then sort of his contract never got renewed, and then his career just took a nosedive at Juventus. He hasn't done anything,
Oh yeah, Ramsey,
and it's kind of sad. It's a real sad state.
tough state. But yeah, you can see
Hung
here.
out to dry by, yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. Eddie Howe is confirmed as Newcastle manager. They had we can touch on it briefly, a 1-1 draw. That's just going to prove, again that they're in this
Yeah.
slog for a relegation battle at this point. And this is a good, I think, caretaker manager to take them through. Obviously, they have all this cash now, and everyone's like, oh, top four, top four. But they're gonna, and I think rightfully so many of the commentators on TV and online are saying this too.
Yeah.
That they're gonna need a transition manager, almost like a Brendan Rodgers character, who gets them into a place where they're challenging to be, you know, a mid-table club and to try to get into that tops, you know, that Conference League, Europa League conversation. And then they'll get to a place where they can really like spend and attract players and but yeah, good for Eddie Howe here. Yeah, very very interesting. Okay, let's just finish off some of these fixtures, shall we? Let's start with Southampton Aston Villa real quick. I think I wanted to give a shout out to Martinez.
Hmm.
But yes, this guy was really what stood out to me in this match. I think it was what was it 1-0 at the end for Southampton.
Yeah, 1-0
But
to Southampton.
Martinez, man, can you tell me, as an Arsenal fan, you had him at your club. I mean, but this guy, and also shout out to Cycling GK. Ben Foster had a great podcast with the Goalkeepers Union. I think they had the Villa goalkeeping coach. So they talked a lot about Emmy and his kind of mentality and all this.
Yeah,
But what a goalkeeper and what a sensational performance.
unbelievable, man. I was so sad when Arsenal chose to let him go over Leno. I mean, I understand, right? Because
Mm,
Leno was on a long-term contract. He was sort of already guaranteed number one, and so Emmy, who'd been here 10 years, sort of
mm,
had to be the one to go. But I think he was better than Leno. I think if Emmy was at the club, we right now he probably would not have bought Ramsdale because I
mm,
think Emmy is a great shot stopper.
mm.
He can actually pass like out of the back really well.
Yeah, he's a fantastic goalkeeper and really, you know,
He loves talking shit, bro. I love his shithouser. He's so dope.
yeah, he's fantastic. But it's unfortunate his side is I think has one of the worst defensive records in the league.
I
And you
mean, and
know,
now they sacked their manager.
they
No more
sacked their
DP.
manager, I was about to say, and they really just miss Grealish. You know, it's one of those cases where you
Unreal. Yeah.
see they lost not only the talisman but the kind of heart of their club.
Yep.
And buying those 5 6 players is in theory what they needed, but it doesn't create a cohesion
Yeah.
that was there before. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Were they justified in sacking the manager? I mean, I think it's maybe they're thinking similar to Spurs,
Yeah.
you know, and I guess what we would expect the United owners to think with this squad. You know, if I get someone better in now, I can
Yeah.
salvage the season to a certain degree
Exactly.
for whatever my
Yeah.
expectations were. Because they did, you know, they were we were looking at Villa with the money they were spending to as challenging for those European spots, and now I mean, where are they? Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, where the hell are freaking Villa, bro?
Yeah.
16th. Look at this form, bro. Atrocious form, bro. 5 losses on the bounce. Worst, worst record of all the teams. Even Norwich have a better record in the last 5. Look at this,
Yeah.
embarrassing. I mean,
So, like, I think that, like, I think because they, like, he's done well in the club, right, overall. But I think if they because they sacked him now, I mean, I would think they probably already have sort of cast out their net for a new coach, and they have at least a few already shortlisted and in line, sort of who could
for sure.
take over. Like, I don't think like if they, I don't think they would have sacked him had they not already had someone in mind who they've already sort of opened a conversation with to come through. What they're saying is that it's going to be Steven Gerrard. Are the rumors are that it could be Gerrard, it could be Lampard, right?
I think
But
it's
I
more
think
likely Lampard. I think Stevie. First
really,
of all,
I
Stevie,
think it's more
stay in
likely Steven
Scotland,
Gerrard.
please. Stay in Scotland,
Why?
Stevie.
Oh, come on, don't be salty, bro.
Look, I'm not gonna be salty. I think the man needs to look till the end of the. I heard it best when one of the commentators said, "Stay till the end of the season, finish out your season, get the title
Scotland? Yeah.
for Rangers, and then and even then,
Yeah,
I do think it would be a good stepping stone for him, Villa. I do think it would
I
be
think so.
a good club for him to go and to learn his trade." And to not actually have European expectations now, but have the resources with which to try to get to a European place, because I think that's really the genius of Steven Gerrard. He went to Rangers to experience, taking a team week in, week out, playing 2 games a week. But yeah, in
Yeah.
any case, I think finish out the season. But I'd be glad to see you at the end of the season. Come now, but for now, don't put yourself in this grime for this
Yeah.
slog of a relegation battle that's coming.
Although, like, I just think, like, out of Gerrard and Lampard, of course, as Aston Villa owner, I would prefer
Mm,
Steven Gerrard for sure, right? I mean, like he's more accomplished as
Proven,
manager,
yeah, he proved himself.
and so if that's the case, right? Like, and they don't reasonably think he's gonna sort of leave
Mm.
Scotland until the end of the year, why sack Dean Smith now, right? I mean,
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm saying. Like, the rumors might say Stevie, but I think it's way more likely. You'll have the London connection in
yeah,
Lampard.
but mhm.
It's and you. I think John Terry is also there in the backroom staff, so that might be a good connection to rekindle.
Oh, he is there at Aston Villa,
I'm
right?
pretty sure. So it'll. I think it might be,
Oh
and
yeah,
that would be a good. He's already managing the Prem, so he has that pressure and expectation that he's had before, but without
yeah,
the pressure of finishing in the top four right now and trying to win trophies and challenge for trophies right now. Um,
yeah. But I mean,
so
if
yeah.
you own the club, wouldn't you think that waiting until the summer to get Gerrard would be a better move than accepting Lampard now,
I mean, I think it
right? I mean,
depends. I think they both have proven to a certain degree that they have strengths. I
yeah,
think Stevie has more and has shown
mhm,
more, but I think that yeah, I mean, it depends. Obviously, it's also circumstance. Stevie might not
yeah,
want to come now to manage it in this situation,
yeah, 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 yeah.
so we'll see how that goes. And I think I wouldn't be surprised maybe if you see someone like Big Sam or some shit like that. If they can't
Oh,
if they
yeah,
can't reach an agreement with a good up and coming manager, obviously the ownership probably wants to get someone. That's why I say Lampard is probably I think the favorite for him. And
yeah.
obviously I have the bias. I wanted Stevie to stay,
Perhaps it just
but
means that, like, they have such little faith that Dean Smith can keep them up. That sort of, they had another option. But I don't know.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
given like how well he's done for the club in the past, I would think maybe he's not. I wouldn't count him out completely. At least to just stay in the league, right? Let's see where
Yeah,
are
perhaps.
yeah. All right,
But
Aston
yeah,
Villa.
yeah, they're
Yeah, that's not
they're in
looking good for them.
16th. They're not looking good. But speaking of
I mean,
staying
they
in the
lost
yeah.
to Spurs, right? To Spurs in early October.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
saying something.
Yeah, I mean, but even losing to Wolves isn't great. I mean, the manner of the
And they beat
defeat
United, yeah.
to
Yeah, that's
West
true.
Ham and the manner of the defeat against Arsenal. And this
Yeah.
is, again, a club that had the expectations coming into this season.
Yeah,
They're
that's
going to
true.
finish in the top half. They're going to finish 7th, 8th, ninth, and they're sitting in 16th in a relegation battle. So,
Yeah.
in any case, let's talk about speaking of staying in the league. Let's give a shout out to freaking Norwich City here. I think. Let's see if I can find Pookie. Yes, I can. Finally scoring more than
So,
2 goals. They have
um,
4 goals on the board, Surya, and they have 3 points. Let's just give a quick shout out. I mean, they also, and also I guess we're on the topic of sacking managers, they also sacked their manager.
yeah, Daniel Farke is gone.
So, yeah, I mean, not much to say there, but I think it was the third and fourth goal of the season, so great for Norwich. I mean, they're going down for sure.
I
But
hope
it'll,
they stay,
yeah,
but yeah, they're probably going down for
they're
sure.
probably going down, but it would be interesting to see, you know, the if they can build something back up, to challenge in the championship next season. It was interesting that we saw the championship fixtures last week. I appreciated that. I'm starting to love the championship in the League of 72.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was a nice little one. Oh, definitely. Let's see if I can have a little graphic for. Do I have a graphic for Crystal Palace? I have to give a great shout out to those guys. I mean, Patrick Vieira is setting up such a resilient side. They have so much belief. I think
Yeah,
it was Zaha with the finish early on. Another, again, showing that he's just a quality footballer. And obviously, I think there's some things holding him back from getting to a real big, top six side. But he is class for sure. And I guess I think there was a couple of VAR decisions. I guess I don't know. I don't remember if the team goal. I think it was called offside. I think one of the goals was called offside if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean
yeah.
they did quite a good job to hold on and Vieira has set up a confident Crystal Palace team that I don't know. I think it's. Look, can they challenge for European spots? I'm not sure, but
I don't know about that yet.
I think they can develop a good identity under Patrick Vieira.
I will say the best part about having Patrick Vieira in the league and doing well is that if Mikel ever goes down the drain, we have a guy to swap out right there.
Exactly. And look, Vieira, I think, understands that that is a possible job in the future. Whether or not
Yeah.
Arteta succeeds, right? Arteta probably won't stay there forever.
I think
But
he would love the Arsenal job.
yeah, he would love that. And look, that's the
And
kind of
everyone would
path.
love him. Everyone would love him.
Oh, everybody would love him. And look, what he's not doing is not doing what Lampard did and going straight from Derby, one decent season with a championship team,
Yeah.
to
Yeah, yeah.
straight to Chelsea. No, he's going to a mid-table side that he can build that has medium expectations, but fantastic for, set up from him. And really, just a word on Wolves before we give on the word on our last fixtures and give a quick rapid fire predictions from last week for next week, or I guess the
Oh
week
yeah.
after the international break. But Wolves really look a shadow of themselves. Without Nuno, the key
Hmm.
attacking players, it's just
Definitely.
they're kind of a nothing team at this point, and it's just kind of sad to see because it was they built themselves at this kind of like surrogate Portuguese side,
Hmm. Hmm.
and yeah, it's just they're really falling flat. I think it's just a shame. And yeah, maybe one last mention here for the final fixture. We were actually watching the highlights together, I believe, right before
Of Leeds,
this
yeah.
recording. But yeah, Leeds and Leicester. First of all, fantastic performance from Leeds, as we were seeing. They were just
Yeah.
peppering the goal, keeping the chances flowing. Rafinha with the first goal. I mean, everything's going his way. He's been their best player in the season. He's just
Yeah.
provides energy. He's on fire. And so when you're in that, you make your own luck. So when you're in that kind of form, I guess I don't know. I guess if you remember it's kind of just a free kick that ends up trickling in. Nobody can get it in the box, but because there's no
Yeah.
touches, the keeper doesn't know what to do with it, and just kind of ends up in the back of the net. But again, like when you're in that form, things like that go your way.
Like I think actually given Leicester's recent form, I actually thought maybe Leeds could have beat them just because their style play is so aggressive, and James Madison, like their key attacking player has not been on it this season so far.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, props to Leeds. I just love watching their style of play. Right, you just love watching them play.
They're entertaining,
They're
yes.
just always on it. Their passing is so quick and
Mm.
like accurate. It blows my mind, honestly.
Yeah, and you can see the still I have here is Harvey Barnes doing the hard yards. And obviously, we mentioned the style of play from Leeds, but they really switch off. I mean, Rafinha is going
Yeah,
ballistic.
yeah,
You mentioned that
yeah,
in the highlights, but Rafinha goes ballistic because his team is just they fall asleep. It was the same thing that we said happened to United when they played Leicester, I think it was.
yeah,
Right off the kickoff, they scored a goal, and right off the kickoff, they just kind of gave up their the concentration levels just went out of nowhere, and they gave up a chance. But Harvey Barnes, I mean, what a freaking finish, a perler! You cannot get more
yeah.
top bins than that. What do you think of that one, Surya?
Yeah, the shot was unreal, like unbelievable. You know what I mean? It's one of those like you always think, is he really that good or is it luck? But because just the pace with which he shot it, like it reminded me of this one goal I think I saw scored by maybe it was Cisse, like way back in the day when he was at Newcastle, or maybe Harry Kane more recently, or maybe even a Yaya Toure goal, but
Mm.
whichever one of those it was, I mean, it's at that level. It was unreal.
Yeah, I mean, it really. I mean, I said it. It doesn't get more top bins than that, and I was
Yeah,
quite impressed
very impressive.
and again the transition play as well from Leicester. I guess they too I think were the ones who put it in against
Yeah.
United. So they got a knack for getting it off the kickoff. But yeah, let's finish off today, Surya. Perhaps with just a quick rapid fire of I know next week we'll have an international break, so perhaps
Hmm.
we might not record, but it looks like we have our big match when we come back from the international break. So perhaps we might go and watch along together live
Definitely, I'd love to do that.
to get a little audience out there. But let's just go through it. Leicester Chelsea. What do we think here at the King Power? I'm gonna go with the Chelsea win here. I think it's
I
gonna
mean,
be
easy. I think. I
3-1.
think they
3-1
just
for me.
aren't on. Exactly. Yep. I agree with that. I'm down with that scoreline.
Okay, Villa and Brighton at Villa Park. Ooh,
Uh, Probably Brighton. I'm gonna say Brighton, like maybe 1-0, 2-0
Oh,
maybe,
you
but
took it out of my head. 1-0 for Brighton. I'm gonna go easy.
yeah,
Yeah, you think that maybe somebody will pop up for Villa and get a goal at
yeah.
home, but Brighton, after what they showed at Anfield, I think they'll put in a good performance. At Turf Moor, Burnley welcome Crystal Palace. I could see Burnley giving Crystal Palace a tough time, being compact. I could see this being a 2-2 all draw, maybe a 1-all draw. 2-all. I'll go 2-all.
I think, yeah. Like, given how many draws Palace have had so far, I think probably 2-2. Actually, I mean, I would probably say it would be low scoring, so probably just 1-1, in my opinion. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, one of these days, one of these weeks, I'll have to start keeping track. We'll see if
Oh yeah, yeah. That actually, yeah.
who does better in our predictions.
We'll write these down eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll get better as we keep going.
Yeah.
Newcastle Brentford at St James's Park. I think
I
this might be
mean,
another draw. 1-all.
really? Oh, I thought it would be a Brentford win. I just think, yeah, maybe you're right.
I
So,
mean, Brentford have just
facing,
slowed down. I think their form has been, and like I hope that Newcastle get that energy to. I think
yeah,
they got a draw in this match week, so I think they might be able to kind of hold on. And Eddie, they'll have the Eddie Howe new manager bump.
bounce, yeah.
So
That's good.
so
Okay, yeah,
at
I
at,
can see
at
that.
St James's Park, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So and I don't do I think that they're gonna have enough to get a win. I don't think so. Maybe they'll
Yeah.
squeeze a 2-1 and give Eddie Howe a perfect start, but
hmm
you know they'll I think they'll
I
try
think you're
not
probably
to get
right.
beat pretty much.
I think you're probably right. Yeah.
Um, Carrow Road, Norwich versus Southampton. This is gonna be a drab 0-0 draw. I'm calling it
Really?
now. Drab. Norwich are trash. I mean, this could end up biting me in the ass and ends up being like 4-3 or something. But
Really? Oh, I thought it'd be like again a 1-0 Southampton win.
maybe it could be. I just feel like,
I mean, of course,
Norwich.
yeah,
Yeah, Norwich have a few 0-0 draws in them. You saw in their
yeah.
last five fixtures. So it could be. I just
I
don't see
mean,
them
yeah.
scoring. Those two goals, even Pookie with his penalty. It's just like, where are they gonna
Well,
score?
even if it ends up being 1-0 to Southampton, I mean, it'll still be a drab game. Let's be real.
It's gonna be drab, especially at
Yeah,
Carrow Road.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, Vicarage Road. So Ben Foster will welcome his old club, Manchester United, on horrible form. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with a 6-pointer against Watford. What are we thinking here? I mean, I think this is clearly one of those matches that's gonna like save Ole's job. So they'll
Yeah,
they'll win 3-1 or something.
I
Pepper the
think their
goal, Ronaldo with
yeah,
two.
I think their away form has just been so good. I think it's Man United will win this game.
Yeah, it's not really a doubt for me. And Watford,
I think probably 2-0, 2-1 maybe, but yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go 3-1. I think Ronaldo
Mhm.
brace,
Oh yeah,
and maybe Rashford off the bench. That's a
yeah.
common tactic a bit. Okay, so Wolves West Ham. This has got to be
Easy.
West Ham easy three
Yeah,
one easy.
for 3-1. Yeah. No, no, no. I don't think Bulls are gonna score. I don't think they're capable of scoring against
Okay,
that solid
interesting.
defense.
You might be right. Okay, maybe you might be right. So what are you going 3-0 maybe?
Yep. And actually, yeah, probably either two, either 2-0 or yeah. Actually, like I'd go probably 2-0. Like I don't think West Ham are a high scoring side unless they win a lot of corners, but
Oh.
we'll see. I think I mean although it's still an easy West Ham win. I think.
Okay, my friend. Obviously, we'll get to these two, but
Yeah.
our match of the week, Liverpool Arsenal at Anfield. I mean, with respect to your boys, I think we're gonna win this three
Yeah,
one.
like I think it'll be a Liverpool win. I think Arsenal will probably snatch a goal out of this, but that's about it.
Yeah, maybe at Mill Smith Rowe, Lacazette, depending on who starts.
Yeah,
Uh,
like I just think
yeah,
that, sure, Liverpool lost to West Ham defense, but I don't think Arsenal are a counterattacking team, and they aren't, that sort of deep in their own half,
right.
and when they defend. But I don't know. Maybe, like if the international break was not there, I would say maybe Arsenal have a chance to win because just less time to rest.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's a Liverpool win for sure.
Yeah. So City Everton at the Etihad.
I
I
mean,
think this is gonna be easy 3-0.
4-0.
Yeah, 4-0 for you. Okay. So easy
I
clean
think
sheets.
Everton have just been really shit this season.
They have been drab.
Yeah,
And Spurs leads Conte versus Marcelo Bielsa. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game for sure. I mean, it's
yeah,
at the London
definitely.
Stadium, but maybe they'll have a week to international break. I don't know how many
Yeah.
of their players are going out, but they'll might have a week to kind of work on things, get to
Mm,
the Conte way, and maybe score a few goals. Maybe 1-0 to Spurs. But
I think
you
so.
Leeds are a good side, so you never know. Maybe
Yeah.
they'll get a punch in, but yeah, I mean, so it's an interesting match week 12 to come after our international break. Surya, thank you for your time this evening, talking match week 11, and we'll see you at Anfield, and
Yeah.
on here for this
I'll
for our
see
watch
you.
along.
Oh, watch along. Yeah, yeah, live.
Peace, friends.
All right. See ya.